One a week for a year.
There you go.
Okay, so I am on Twitter at Louise. None of Dersh or Chuck's friends should read me there.
No.
I am on Clout Hub. And the now called Democrat 20. Sorry.
Democrat 2020. I see that. We call that her mother's call. So we say Pat's resident. So Pat is up. Here, have a jerky for your drink. Thank you for joining us. We get to see some people down in the that are watching. Please, if you're interested in joining us, you don't have to. And don't run. Hold on while you're calling, and don't run away. But there's a chat room over to the right-hand side. I said we're about to go on the air, and Dershi said just stand by. We're about to start. Miss Lisa will probably jump in too.
This is on YouTube.
Yep.
Okay.
So if you feel like jumping in, jump. If you don't,
Please
don't.
do. Don't jump.
Don't jump.
Don't jump. All your friends jumped off. But you jump off too?
Nope.
How about hop?
Hop on pop?
Well, don't hop on.
No.
You might get hurt.
Okay.
We don't want to hurt the pop. So where can we find you, dear?
Oh, and also I have an Etsy store called Vintage Velma Finds. I have a webpage called Vintage Velma, but it doesn't have anything. Doesn't have a lot on it right now.
Gotcha.
I am also Louise on eBay. If you'd like to go buy one of Chuck's bumper stickers.
Yeah,
only $5.
They're only $5, and
Free
I just
shipping.
myself.
And look,
Free shipping.
hold it up. There you go.
We're not on camera yet. We'll do that.
We'll hold it up later.
Except
there's something stuck on there.
Yeah.
We'll take that out.
We don't want stickage.
Right. No
Go
stickage.
ahead. Where else can we find you?
Nowhere.
The Best of North Carolina?
The Best of North Carolina page on Facebook.
And what's that all about, ma'am?
It's about trying to promote positive things in North Carolina or calling out things that are not positive in North Carolina.
Cool.
And it's slightly tilted to the left, but not really. It's more positive, feel good, or this is just wrong. You know, like dog breeding sites that have gotten caught for doing bad
Those
things.
are horrible
Things. Things like that.
Yeah, those are bad things. Things everybody would agree on.
Things. Mostly things.
So we know where you are. We know where I am. Where in the world are you, Dersh?
He's
my Dershi producer.
He's Florida man.
My buddy.
Florida man.
We did our show last time.
Right.
We were on a roll. You're in Florida. Florida days.
Right now, I'm behind the microphone producing the Chuck and Lisa show, where you can find us Wednesdays at 9:30. You can also find me on the same microphone 8 o'clock on Tuesdays with my buddy Chuck on the right side of politics. If you want to find me on social media, I'm out there. It's at Dersh, at DERSH, on CloutHub, USA.life, MeWe, WeGo, and Parler. But if you really want to find me, hunt me down at CloutHub, because that's where I hang out.
Yep. And we see that cross around the bird there, meaning you can't be found where?
I am not official. I am not officially on Twitter. No, I don't go. I do have.
Officially, I like that.
Well, on my.
Not in any way on
that you know of.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Well,
exactly what that meant.
I do have the Twitter account which I don't use and I can't use because I have to have it for Patriot Journalist.
There we go.
To log into Patriot Journalist, but so I don't do anything with it because what Chuck sniffs me he'll kill that account out there too. So
Exactly.
Yeah.
If Chuck's tainted.
I know. If you have any association with me, you are just.
Except for me.
Well, Jack probably laughs about that every damn day.
Maybe so.
I'm gonna kick she's 5908 and she's horrible, and I'm never gonna kick her out no matter what she says.
Pretty much. Well, except for if I said throw an orange at somebody, because apparently you get suspended for that.
Huh?
So, throw a bag of oranges at someone.
Well, that's a threat of physical violence.
I guess. Maybe it was
You could
the
throw them into a blender though and make some lovely juice.
maybe it was the orange thing.
Orange and glad.
Orangey glad.
I am. So anyway, we've got an interesting show tonight. We're going to talk about
That's what I heard.
a lot of stuff. Miss Lisa knows the role of what we're doing, so why don't you pick the item we're going to start with?
hopefully it's NASCAR because that's what I just put on the screen.
Oh, yeah! I think she should pick NASCAR.
Well, I unfortunately,
See, you already did that.
I fortunately or unfortunately missed watching most of the race because I was driving down to see my
You did listen to it.
lovely sister in Atlanta because
You
she
got
was
to hear
giving.
Dave Moody do it. Though.
Oh yeah, it's actually kind of fun listening to it on the radio because makes you pay attention.
Right.
Yeah.
And Moody is such a good.
Oh yeah, they're awesome.
I like those guys. I like the NASCAR guys on
100.
on Sirius XM.
Yeah.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah, well, I drove Chuck's truck, so I didn't have Sirius XM, but I think it was the same set. It was Moody. Yeah, Moody. Well, sometimes it's MRN, and sometimes it's PRN.
That's performance.
Right, but this was the one with.
They're the same company, though.
But they're different people.
Yeah.
Because sometimes there's Rusty, and sometimes there's not.
It's not Rusty.
Yeah. So this was pretty good. I managed to find it the whole way down to Atlanta, and it was really good, except for the end of the race when they went, Ryan won, and I'm like, which Ryan? Like which Ryan? Like you didn't. Like which one? I don't know.
You still tell me who won.
I know. Because it was on the radio.
I've been a fan of Ryan Newman for 15 years. And a fan of Ryan Blaney since he showed up.
Since birth.
So I'm like, they're side by side. Which Ryan to root for?
Well, I know, but at the end of on the radio, not seeing a picture, and they're like, Newman is in the lead, and then at the end of the race, and then they said, Ryan won, and I was like, what? Like who? What? And then they said Blaney, and I'm like, wait. And then you called me. So
that's a teaser because we got to first of all say, if you're new to the show, we don't talk about NASCAR all the time, and sometimes we do it at the beginning, sometimes we do it at the end.
And sometimes
we're not just going to talk about NASCAR.
And sometimes it's boring.
Don't go bogging off and go, you know what? I don't know a damn thing.
Bogging
about
off is that British?
Yeah, that's British.
Okay.
Please stick around because we're going to talk about this about 10 minutes or so. Then we'll move on to other cool stuff.
Right. But if you don't like NASCAR, you should probably just watch Talladega every year because that's just
Talladega is just a mess.
Especially if you like wrecks.
It could fill Junior's field of cars
graveyard.
Every dang year. It's
car graveyard.
Car, yeah. No. It's car graveyard every year.
So he literally doesn't bury his like drivers did in the past.
Oh, that's weird. Well, he shows them off, which is really
right.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. is not a museum, and it will be someday.
Probably, or a theme park.
He built a whole town first of all, and then around the town, he's got a graveyard of cars from
that he collects.
Major wrecks that you've seen on,
or even minor wrecks that are really cool.
Right. So this weekend was Wreck Central Talladega. As we've been talking about, it came down to Ryan Newman and Ryan Blaney. Ryan Newman made a bold move to take the lead with Denny Ryan pushing him like crazy.
Denny Ryan?
Denny Hamlin.
Ryan!
Everybody. Denny Hamlin. Pushing him like crazy. And it looked for all the world like they were going to win until Ryan Newman got loose because Denny was pushing him into a corner, which doesn't always work. Through a corner, actually. And then he said he was just going to keep it Ford the whole time anyway. So, what do you think of the race, Miss Lisa?
I listened to it on the radio.
Yes, I know. Tell the people what you think.
It was quite exciting.
I know. It really was. Because, first of all, we are all three Ryan Blaney fans.
I hate super speedways, by the way. But I like Talladega.
See, there's a difference. I don't like cookie cutter 1.5 speedways.
And the other...
I like the big speedways.
Yeah, I know. I like them, so I don't like, well, not really a Daytona fan either, because I like to watch it on TV, but when you go there, you can't see things.
Yeah, it's so big.
So I guess
like
you just
Pocono,
go there for the experience. Because I've been there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I want to go to Talladega sometime, I guess. And now I want to go to that big infield thing that they built.
Like a party, doesn't it?
The big, whatever,
yeah.
I forget what it's called, the area.
Yeah, they redid Talladega and updated it big time. And they made this amazing place
in the infield.
In the infield where you can go get beers, drinks, dinners,
and
anything
cheap.
you want.
And they made it cheap so people would go there.
To your left and right
are
the
garages, right?
Garages. So you can see through the screen. You can walk right up to where they work it with like 4-foot fences, and you can get autographs and talk to the drivers and the crews and all this stuff. So they really did Talladega right.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get the infield passes for that one.
Okie
We'll never see the race. We're in the bar. It's on TV.
It's on TV. It's good. It's all good. And we can hear it.
Going around too, literally.
We can hear it.
Yeah, so Talladega is a rocking place. It was a rocking race. And Hershey, your thoughts on the race, buddy?
Well,
you were happy.
You know, I love the big super speedways. It's my favorite race, man. It's just I love that race. I was really happy until 7 laps to go. When I went from first place to last place in our fantasy league because all but one of my drivers crashed.
Oh no! I know. I was on the phone right before the Bowman wreck. I was like, okay, can I substitute Bowman in for Newman? And he's like, no, because Bowman's a playoff driver and Newman's not. And I'm like, damn, I gotta leave Newman in then. Damn it.
And I was running both Ryans.
That kind of worked for me.
Hey, look at your screen. You're on TV.
Oh no!
You see it?
No. Where? Yay! Now I see a dog. Oh, I see me. Ha!
There you are.
Wave to your fans, Lisa.
Wave to your fans.
Well, I don't.
What? It's like a 15-second delay. You'll get used to it.
I look like I'm looking at the moon or something.
I know. There's something about the lighting in this place.
The
lighting, I'm trying to work on. Let me see. Let me see if this fixes it. I just brightened Lisa up. No, she just disappeared more.
Yeah, it's you got to have lighting behind you.
Look like a ghost.
It's got to be backlit. So
what was that?
The lighting behind you is solid, and the lighting in front of you, your camera will fix the lighting in front of you. It won't be a problem. It's the lighting behind you has to be solid and consistent.
Oh, okay. Well, it's not. Right. So that's what it is.
Yeah. So let's see if I can lighten it up. Hey, I fixed it.
That's better. That's better.
Is that good?
Maybe.
Look, you're there now.
Except I don't even know when I said that.
See, it's better to make me disappear.
Lisa's, so
far behind.
Her camera tilted down too far because we can see the top of the camper.
So I need to go up? Up?
There you go.
This
That's
way.
better. There you go. That's good.
There you go. There you go, and now you're magically on the screen.
What's such a delay? Such a delay.
Yeah, Lisa, we've been trying to talk Lisa into going on the air since we started doing this. Well, a year and a half ago now.
I thought you just said it wasn't a year.
We are now, look.
Well,
we can prove it now.
You just said it wasn't a year.
Hello? Chuck, Lisa, where'd you go? Uh-oh. There you go.
What I mean is, we've been doing this for about a year and a half, and you've never gone on camera
like
before.
Right, and I probably won't
Why?
All the time.
Why? You're lovely.
Oh, I disappeared.
You're prettier than me.
Well, duh.
Well, duh.
Yeah, but who isn't, Chuck? So, you know.
Well, that's nice. Right now, I appear to be frozen on there.
Yep.
Yeah, you guys froze up for a second, but you're okay now.
Oh, good.
That's-
And they're
It's flapping! Chuck's flapping, as usual.
So anyway, it was a great NASCAR race. Blaney is now on to the next round of 8. Thank goodness.
Amen. Like that a lot.
I was living down cheering, clumping my fists. Heck yeah! It was so cool. I wish Lisa was there, but she was on her way back from.
No, I was on my way down. Tuesday.
Yeah.
Monday down.
Right.
Tuesday back.
Monday down.
Right.
You're on your way down.
All right.
So it was cool. So any more NASCAR stuff? Yes. Well, you know what, Dershie? I want you to talk about NASCAR for about 5 minutes because
Wee chat room.
the wee chat room is calling Mrs. Nevis Bella.
Sorry, because we started playing.
All right.
We did start late.
You got your
Plates on the way out.
you got your solo shot there, Chuck.
Hey, I'm good. You know me, I'm a ham. You can put me on screen when I first wake up.
Yeah.
While we're at it, I just trimmed up my mustache and beard. At least
Anyway, you know, I as we were saying though, I love the big races, man. I just like the pedal down, you know, no backing off of the throttle. You just hammer down, and I love it now with this new package, man. They running those big packs, and man, it's just awesome. It's you know, you get out of the wind, you get out of that line for just a half a second, and you go backwards 12 spots.
Absolutely. It's amazing. The aero is so important at that track, and especially with these less horsepower engines that they got now.
Right. So I thoroughly enjoyed it. Like I said, down until 7 laps to go when they had the last big one, and once the last big one hit, I was done for.
Yeah, you went from first to last in a race. Hey, who won this week?
Who won? I think Jerry won, maybe, or you won. I think Jerry won.
Will you?
No, wait a minute. Lisa won.
It was me.
I won?
I thought it was Lisa who won this week. Or was it you, Chuck? Hello.
You had?
That's the only reason I don't hear the Dershie
We
man.
lost. Yeah, you guys.
He's there.
You guys went away for a second.
Oh no. It's Lisa because she keeps opening and closing the doors.
So let's see. I'm checking on scores. We do know that Lisa is in the lead for the playoff round
Isn't that something?
for the first time ever.
Ever?
You know what? That deserves an ovation because Dershie rules our fantasy league. It's just incredible. He really does. You're really good at it. It's because you're retired and you have nothing else to do all day.
Then how come the first year we? Then how come the first year we did it when I forgot to change my drivers every week? I won. not with you guys. Not with you guys, but what?
Yeah.
Oh wait,
We're on camera again.
we have chat kitty.
So yeah, Chuck, you had a big win. You won by 40 points.
I know. Can you believe it?
That's huge for one race. It was Chuck and then Maestro, whoever that is. Sports.
We don't know.
Nobody knows. Blaney's mustache was third,
Yeah.
That's me.
but scored enough points to take a 1-point lead in.
Woo! Oh wow! I have a 1-point lead. You didn't say that.
It's one point lead, but you got to lead. Hey,
Lead of all year.
this is the first time I wasn't in first place all year, so.
Oh well, there you go. That's momentous.
Exactly. That's what I was trying to say. Dershie's been leading the whole
That's
dang
funny.
thing all year
I like
round.
it. I love it.
So, if any of you are interested in joining our NASCAR group, please let us know, and you can always join for next year if you don't want to do it this year.
But you can still do it this year.
We can still do it this year, but
yeah.
Either way. Also, now we want to talk about what else we're going to do tonight.
We do?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, we're not just talking about that. Is there anything you wanted to add to NASCAR?
Nope.
Okay, well then we're moving on.
But if you want to meet us, you can come to Martinsville because we'll be at the truck race and at the regular race.
That's true. We can have a meetup.
We could.
Let's see if I can fix your light.
Oh, blind.
There we go. Maybe
Lisa.
I need $2 hot dogs.
Lisa's
what did I do now?
Blinded by the light.
Exactly. All right, so the other topics we're going to talk about tonight, so you don't think we're just NASCAR nuts and walk away.
But we are.
We are just NASCAR nuts.
We're going to talk about jobs, we're going to talk about veterans treatment, and we're going to talk about pet adoption.
Okay.
Okay, what do you want to do next?
So since the last time we have spoken to you...
Unless we're screwing Dershie up.
Wait.
Do you have something else planned next?
Wait, which order are we going in?
Go ahead. You guys can go whatever order you want now.
Okay. So, since the last time we have spoken to you...
Yes.
I quit my job!
Oh my God!
Okay, because it was literally making me mentally ill. Literally.
And physically ill.
And physically ill. I could not go there anymore.
Yep.
And one day I just put all my stuff in a box and I left. And when my boss came back to work, he started asking me questions and I said, I cannot work with you anymore. It's making me physically ill.
Yep.
And that was that. And that was 12 days ago.
Yep.
Congratulations.
It was
have another
2 years in coming, buddy.
Oh, that job the first week I was there.
Yeah, you should have.
You had just had back surgery, and he was on my butt for answering the phone when you called.
Yep. Yeah.
And it was during their session, and I didn't have another job, and so I stayed, and there was insurance, and then you worked for him as well, and
I got stuck there for 9 years. And after I actually left before Lisa did it.
And then guess what I got to do after Chuck quit? What? Half of your job as well.
Right.
And asked to come in earlier.
Yeah.
Asked to come in earlier every day and leave later every day, but not for any pay increase.
Or anything.
And take take Chuck off the insurance.
Yep.
And I said I cannot do this anymore, and I'm not coming back.
No. And I don't blame you in the least.
And so for the first week I was gone, I got texts every day, how do you do this, how do you do this, how do you do this? And blissfully, it's been 3 days in a row, not counting the weekend, and I haven't gotten any questions from anybody.
I just wouldn't answer anymore at this point.
But I told you...
You've been more... He asked me if I wanted to consult for him when I resigned. And I just laughed and I said, no, you're the reason I'm leaving.
Right. Well, I
honestly said that to him.
All the people that we worked for said, you're coming back, right? You're just, because he hasn't told anybody that I've quit.
Right.
Just that I've been sick. I was like, yeah, sick of you.
Well, how did he explain me being gone? It sounded like I was dead.
Oh, some of the tenants called and said, where's Chuck? He said, he's not with us anymore.
Yeah. That's why it looked like a ghost on the screen.
Don't say that. Don't say that. He's like, well, what am I supposed to say? I said, say he moved on to better things. How about that? But he wouldn't say that. So yeah, we're both. Yeah, so anyway, you know what? And I'm not.
Everyone has bosses that they just.
No.
I have some horrible bosses. Everybody gets at least one in their life here. So.
I don't know that anybody ever. Most people get one like this.
No, he's a miserable.
He's a special case.
He's a special little prick.
I like the way you say that, Lisa.
I did not say that.
I did.
I did not. Okay, so before that, I had the best boss in the world. I wasn't a huge salary, but he let me take my kids to soccer when I needed to. I could take a week off to take them to a tournament. I could go see my grandmother when she was sick.
Yeah.
I could. It wasn't all about ass in the chair time.
Ass in the chair.
he was great.
So
then I got the opposite boss.
Yeah.
So hopefully
the next one's going to be awesome because
I know better now.
What you went through for 10 years, you've handled 5 companies. You've proven your management skills and your ability to do an accounting department or an office manager or anything else you want.
I had 3 people's work to do, and I know that the person that they hired is going, oh my gosh, look at this. There's so much that's not done. What I hope they realize is it's because 3 people should have been doing my job. Right. So I was kind of like treading water the whole entire time I was there.
The person's gonna look at it and go, I quit.
No, you know what I'm saying though? I was treading water the whole time I was there. I was like, make sure this is paid. 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 Okay, go back and do this bank rec. Do this. Like, I was treading water the whole entire time I was there.
Across the board in the company for 10 years, for my 9 years there, I screamed, you need more personnel.
Right.
And we just simply you lost the 2 best managers
and probably more to follow.
Oh yeah, you lose the entire.
I hear that the maintenance staff or not maintenance, but the cleaning and leasing staff might be leaving.
Yeah,
as well.
Surprised. So we'll maintenance.
So
anyway, companies build, companies fall. The moral of the story to me in this is that
take care of your people.
Also if you're not a hands-on manager and you're sort of a in the background owner, stay in the background where you belong, because you can only harm your company if it's working well. If it's inefficient, then you might have to intervene. Or
if you decide to wade in and change everything because you think that you know everything.
Right. If you've got no experience in a field, you've got no experience in a field. And you should just let your people that you hired who have experiences in these fields do their jobs, right?
Sounds good to me.
Anyone agree?
I agree.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Anyway, I feel a lot better even though I have no job. So,
yeah. So when you go through, it's almost like Stockholm syndrome when you leave a job that. Well, because you're treated not as an equal, you're treated as a subordinate.
Well, I was bullied, basically. I was bullied.
Yeah, you were.
I really was.
Well, and you were subjected to a lot of sexual harassment crap that you should have reported long ago.
I have no comment on that.
I figured. So anyway, we just want everybody out there to know that you're not alone if you've ever gone through this. There's some real male and female jerks out there that are managers, and I know that you have to have a job. But sometimes for your own mental health, you're better off taking the plunge and saying, you know what, it's a great job market out there. You've got mad skills. And you can get something better than it in a quick time because you got this horrible job. Wow, look at that picture.
Me drinking a drink. That's nice.
Oh, I do that all the time. Cheers.
Nobody cares.
Yingling. It's good for your health.
Not Yingling.
What you got?
I got a lime Rita.
Yeah, I like that background. That's kind of cool. So, Lisa's got to get a new job. I'm going to get a new job. And we're not worried about it because we've been very good with our, not spending money and accumulating a ton of debt, things like that.
I know how to cook the food.
And Lisa knows how to cook food. I mean, she said we've got to do more of her food stuff on for Dercy. We've got to make her do it. Now that we've got her on camera, we've got to get a show near the stove.
Well, that means I would have to clean the stove.
Oh no!
Oh, we got a stove. We got a stove in the camper. That might work.
Dercy, we could set up another remote camera.
We might. We have a stove in the camper.
That'd be cool.
We could do easy.
We could actually do a cooking show here.
Easy food.
All I gotta do is hook up propane.
Yep. Yeah, heat would be good.
You're so silly. So, did you vent enough about jobs? Or do you want to talk more about jobs?
I have vented enough. I have vented enough to you over the past 10 years that I'm fine.
Well, I know, but you're on the radio.
I know, but I'm fine. Like, no, I'm good. I don't want. I don't.
Son of a bitch, I don't want to kick you in the balls.
I don't want to badmouth anybody.
Excuse me, folks. Anybody out there?
I don't want to badmouth anybody, even though they deserve it. I just want to say that everybody that I've told that I've left the company has said, "Good for you. It's about time." Not why did you leave? So I think I made the right choice.
I believe so. I know so.
And I rented a booth at the local.
Talk about your store. That's really cool.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. I mean, I haven't sold anything yet, but it's kind of cool because I've been collecting stuff over the years with the thought in the back of my head that one day I'll have a booth and I'll sell all these things because they're really cool and I like right and I like to buy them and I'm good at finding them.
And we've got a house. Well, I mean, we've got a lot of them.
Right. I just said
it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, and so slowly but surely I'm putting the things in the booth.
That's fine, but don't call me Shirley.
You just said I could. So yes, I've got a booth. I'm putting things in there. It's not very full yet, but I'm working on it, and it'll be fun. It's not. Oh, yeah. It's affordable. I would have liked to have one here in town, but the booth rental. I know, but the booth rental places down here are insane. Like I'm pretty sure
5 miles away. You're right off the highway.
Right. Exit 143 in Burlington, North Carolina. Consignment Connection.
Exactly. Oh, you need to put that on your.
I will next week. Go upstairs. Here it is. 143 Consignment Connection.
Stairs, you can't listen.
Walk up the snow. Listen to me. Yes. Walk up the stairs. Go left. Go left. Go left. Like NASCAR. There's my booth. It's right there.
The NASCAR.
It's right there. So, yep.
So you have to get a picture of. You post a picture of your. I'll put
next week.
A picture of your booth from down below.
Next week.
Very good.
Yep. So if you're going
Vintage Velma. And you're Velma.
I'm Velma, and that's a long story for another day.
And Louise and Lisa. Yes, she's all these people.
So Velma, I got the name when we were in Key West long ago.
Because you look like.
Because I look like Velma with sexy Velma. Because my hair was shorter, and apparently I looked like sexy Velma. So.
I can't argue with either point of that. Yep. So,
that was many years ago.
Let's talk about pet adoption next.
Okay. Well, you want to talk about what happened? What? What did we do? What did we do? What did we do?
What? Guys, what?
Let's talk about veterans first, because I'm not done with pet adoption yet.
What all that clicking is over there.
Dersh is working frantically in the background to keep the show going in the right direction. So,
how much time do you need for veteran before you put veteran?
Veterans is done. It's ready. I don't have pet done yet.
Okay. Well, in that case, I'm done bitching about jobs. I'm ready to move on with life. I've been gone for almost a month now, and I am happy.
You've been moved on to better things.
I get happier every day. I work 24 hours a day, whether I was on vacation, which never went more than 3 days, right? Or 4 days at maximum. And it was 24-hour day on call. So whenever there was a maintenance issue or a housekeeping issue or anything that I had to do for management, I just had to do it. So I never actually felt like I was on vacation for the last 9 years. So this is kind of cool.
Right. Just like I've never missed a payroll in the past 10 years, even I've been on vacation.
Exactly. So now we're finally off duty. And it takes some time just to chill. Doesn't it, Lisa?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Now, let's talk about veterans treatment. Or the lack of treatment. There's been some great changes that are going to make the whole mess with the Veterans Affairs Bureau better. The fact that we can now go to our own doctor or our own hospital. No, it is. That you just simply give them your veteran information.
Well, I'm not 100% sure about that, but
I was reading about it. It's pretty much that. And it's the best thing that's happened because if you're a veteran and you ever had to sit in a veterans hospital for a day or even 2 days to get help, there have been veterans who have died in the Veterans Hospital, and that's how all this change came about. Miss Lisa, I would like your thoughts on this because you brought up the topic.
No, you brought up the topic last week, but we didn't talk about it because we didn't have a show. Because you were upset about how some veterans were being treated, and I can't remember where that came from.
Well,
I think it was some cuts to some programs.
Oh, right. Yeah. What was it? What about it? It was a week ago. We had a great show planned for last week, and we couldn't get it going because technical issues. But
there have been a lot of cuts to programs.
There have been some cuts to some programs, but the fact that they've outsourced is greatly helping it.
Well,
I am a disabled veteran, in case you don't know. Everybody out there, I blew out a knee and had 3-4 surgeries on it, and instead of letting me go and do my job, they made me a disabled vet and honorably discharged and all that happy crappy.
But you never filed for any of your benefits.
No, I never filed for them. So Lisa just recently had me file for them, knowing that I was eventually going to get the hell out of that horrible job.
Well, that's a different thing.
That covers me for medical because I am entitled to it, and I never took advantage of it. I never even asked for the back pay.
What you filed for is different. That's not veterans disability. That's something else.
That's okay, disability.
Right.
But we also I never filed for a disability. I mean, but we finally filed for my veterans card so I could go to a VA medical facility or go to a doctor.
Right, so I'd like to hear more about your experience with that once you actually try and go use it and see what happens.
We'll bring a camera.
Gosh. They probably won't let us. Yeah. That's my guess.
I'm betting they won't let you.
Or something.
My guess is that they probably won't let us.
I bet you're right.
All right, hold on.
Scratch that idea. But,
there we go.
You know, Lisa and I don't agree on a lot politically. But we do agree that veterans do deserve to be taken care of. I'm not saying that because I'm a veteran. I'm saying it because of all the guys that are really screwed up in their life because of it. I mean, they've lost their job, they lost their families, they lost their brain, they lost their mind, they lost limbs and everything else. Some of them don't remember who the heck they were anymore, and they're starting over. And they deserve, they put their life on the line for the country. And I think the least the country could do is take care of these guys.
Right.
Couldn't agree more, Judge. Could not agree more.
Go ahead.
Actually, your dad's a vet. My real dad's a vet. My stepdad's a vet.
I think they should be taken care of far before anybody who's not born here and in the United States.
I honestly think they should be taken care of before anyone, pretty much, because especially some of these guys are dying or close to dying when they get into the thing, because unfortunately a lot of military guys don't want to seek help. They think they can stand their own.
But what about the 9/11 guys? They couldn't even get help. It's just really, I'm not really sure.
That's
where
ridiculous
the priorities
too.
From here. Right.
That's ridiculous too, Lisa, because there was millions of dollars given into the fund for those guys, and that money disappeared, and and none of them were getting help.
Where did it go?
I have no idea. Nobody does, apparently. But yeah, you're exactly right. That's absolutely ridiculous.
I can't believe that somebody had to go and Jon Stewart, who I love, had to go in front of Congress and beg for this money to be extended. I don't even understand that at all.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense to me either. I'm not.
I'm glad that it got taken care of.
Yeah, I am glad that he stepped up on it. A lot of people some people wanted to throw bricks at him, but
why?
Just because some people are just jerks about everything. If I sneeze, some people will say, call me a racist. If you sneeze, some people will call you a racist.
I'm not a racist.
I'm not a racist either.
I'm a snowflake.
You are a snowflake.
I am. I'm a piglet snowflake, remember?
I remember. Well, at least
you have no idea where that came from. I'm a piglet snowflake. I have a little picture of Piglet
What is what is a piglet snowflake? Because I had no idea what that is.
I think they were trying to call me fat, maybe. So they called me a piglet snowflake.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense.
I know, right? But I love it. So, like, I found a little picture of a piglet with a Christmas ornament and a snowflake.
You're hilarious. That's fun.
Yep.
The only thing I missed from Twitter were my daily death threats I got.
Yeah.
I love that person who does the daily dump.
I know.
That is absolutely hysterical.
Shut up, Chuck. You're stupid, and I hate you.
I do miss my daily death threats. I mean, every day I would tell me or whoever, I'll be like, oh, I got my daily death threat today. And then my old trick is I used to be like, do you need my address? I'm waiting here, and I'm armed.
I know, right?
Bring it. I don't care. And these little snowflake keyboard cowboys, they have the block.
Remember the time when the planes kept flying over our house?
Black helicopters and shit.
I think it had something to do with Fayetteville, because we're in the flight path of Fayetteville.
But we kept having black helicopters flying over
it's
the
still
house,
funny.
Lisa kept joking, they're coming to get you. I'm going to get you.
Coming to get you.
I always figured I would have been thrown by Obama. I never was. That just blows my mind.
You're not that important.
I know. I figured that out. Oh, well. Twitter days, I know, rabbit hole, it's what we do, man. It's what we do. All right, so, veterans treatment. We all agree, whether you're left, right, or center, that veterans got to be taken care of. I mean, the days veterans say. I mean,
eventually they will.
They're all dead.
They're all dead.
Every single one. That would be horrible because they're our veterans.
That's not what I meant. I meant the people eventually die, and some of them are going to die in a veterans hospital. But that's not a bad thing. It just means they're old and they died.
I hope I die in a good place.
I'm going to bury you in the backyard.
She's gonna bury me in the rabbit hole.
Oh, apparently we don't have the pool hole anymore, though. Remember, I used to say I was gonna throw you in the pool hole.
Yeah.
That's another story for another day.
That's fine.
We'll talk about how we bought our house and the pool hole.
All right. So, veterans treatment. Anybody want to add anything? Lisa?
Oh. So when I'm applying for jobs,
yes.
Am I allowed to say I'm a military spouse?
Yes, you are.
Or is there a difference between? But there wasn't a choice. It was like I'm a veteran.
Military spouse.
I'm a military. It wasn't a choice. So I could just be confused.
I think I would ask.
Well, it's usually online, so you can't ask.
Oh, I'm not sure. What do you think, Dirk? If you're a veteran spouse, is that the same as a military spouse?
It didn't say active military, so I wasn't sure.
I don't know, but I would certainly hope so.
I hope so too.
My theory is say yes and then act confused. Yes, I think I'm a military spouse, but I wasn't sure what the question was.
What's your question?
Right.
That's fun.
I don't see why. I don't see how there would be a difference. I mean, we're talking about government here, so obviously that's a possibility.
Right. So I'm just going to check yes.
I would say yes.
Nope.
I would say yes. The only thing I wish that we had more folks that were joining us in the chat room tonight, but oh well, some nights are like that, some nights aren't.
I didn't promote. Sorry, next week I'll promote.
You guys got to promote too.
I just said
it's not just my job.
You have no job.
See?
It's your job.
Exactly.
It's your job, Chuck.
It's your job.
What's your job?
It's Chuck's job.
My job?
Yeah.
Feeding you, washing your underwear, buying you things at the grocery store.
Well, you guys got 8 new subscribers last week, so I mean, people are out there.
Really?
Yeah.
That's fantastic. We do thank you guys for joining us. We really appreciate it. Let's see. We've talked enough about veterans. I love veterans. You love veterans. Everybody loves veterans. And you know what? That's a wonderful change because 20 years ago, everybody hated veterans.
I
that
don't
was a horrible time. 30 years.
40.
40 years.
40. Yeah. You're old.
I'm old.
But okay, so here's the thing. As a little kid,
yes.
You know how we had the whole like POW flags and the bracelets, and my mom bought us a bracelet, and we wore the bracelet, and we weren't supposed to take it off until the guy came back or whatever. So I think mine broke, but I'm not sure. But so then when they came back, and then how come we all hated them?
I don't understand that.
As a little kid, I didn't understand that part.
Well,
I never felt that way.
I could tell you why, Lisa, but we'd have to get into politics, and we'll have to say
that. Say that you come join us on the right.
No, I kind of know, but I'm just saying, as a little kid, as a 12-year-old or a 10-year-old, I didn't understand that part, or an 8-year-old probably. I didn't. I was like, so we could buy the bracelets, but then when they come back, we're gonna throw the bracelets at them, right?
Oh, that's all.
No. Anyway, so
a dead Yingling.
A dead Yingling.
Oh no. So anyway, yes.
That wasn't my fault because I was only 8 or 10.
It wasn't anybody. I mean, it was just dumb. It was just dumb the way that they were treated, and I hate it, especially for them. All right, now the last thing we wanted to talk about. How are we doing at time? Yeah, we're doing good. Super.
Come here.
We're almost at an hour.
Come on.
Pet adoption, Miss Lisa. What's going on with pet adoption?
I'm trying to get the cat to come on. Okay, so last week,
yes.
For some reason, I was randomly looking at the pet adoptions,
yes.
As I do from time to time. But 99% of the time, they're all pit mixes.
Yep.
Which
are lovely dogs,
right? But
you gotta have room for
right. But we don't. We already have 2 dogs and 3 cats in a tiny little house.
Right. Oh, I love your pet adoption play.
So come here. Hold on.
She's trying to get the cat.
So I'm trying to get Gracie to be on camera.
So he's got a great thing for pet adoption.
I know. I see it. I like the dog with the glasses.
Nice job.
Ow!
Is that me?
What is what you? The dog with the glasses?
Woof.
So, last week, I go on there and I'm looking, and there's 4 little white dogs. Yep. Well, they are probably white. We're not really sure because they were hairy and matted down and hadn't had a bath in forever and all stuck together. And we decided they were the Golden Girls. So look, there's a cat. Wait, can we do cat?
Right, you can do the cat. Hold her up.
I'm trying to do a cat.
If you just keep it there, well, you just keep talking because
cat.
You know there's a dog.
Alright, so 3 of them were already adopted. We're like, okay, we're gonna adopt the 4th one. So we go and see her. Alright, anyway. So maybe she'll be on camera, maybe she won't.
Maybe she will.
So we go and see her and she's kind of frightened. They're all 4 very clearly related. Yeah, look, Gracie.
You're right, you're famous.
They're all 4 very clearly related. Same dog. So like, okay, we're gonna get her.
Absolutely.
So the guy at the place goes, look, this is really weird. The guy that brought them in said there were 4 strays. 4 strays, all related like this. But he wants to keep one.
Right.
And we said no. So we got all 4 of them. So we're going to adopt her. So they said, come back in 2 days. We're going to shave her because they can't get all this matted, nasty fur off of her. I see a cat butt in your face.
Cat butt?
And we're going to come back on Thursday and get her. So we come back on Thursday. We're all excited. We got the little blanket and the little leash. We're like, we're going to get a puppy. We're going to get a little white dog. And we had decided to name her Betty White because there were 4 dogs.
4 dogs.
And they were the Golden Girls.
Right.
So this is Betty White. So we're going to go get Betty White.
She was the only one left.
She was the only one left.
Like Betty White.
And she was going to be white when they shaved all the crap off of her.
What's cat butt on the screen?
Oh, yay! Cat butt! I see cat butt!
Does that make us rated X or something? We have cat butt on the screen.
So, we're gonna go get her. We're all excited, and we're like 4 little white dogs. And we're like, one of them's ours. 4 little white dogs, and they're like, no. We called everybody yesterday, and we told them the real owner found her dogs. They've been missing for several months, and they're all gonna go back to the real owner.
It just sucks.
So it sucked for us.
Yeah.
It didn't suck for the dogs.
Well, the real owner has to be very happy.
Right, but I'm just wondering what happened. I think the I think it's domestic dispute. He stole the dogs, whatever. So anyway, so we didn't get our little doggy. So yeah. So then we looked at another dog. That dog was adopted. So we're still looking. We don't need another dog.
We don't need another dog. We've got plenty of dogs, plenty of cats. But Lisa's always one.
He's in my 20s,
and she wants another.
And it got stolen by a friend of mine. So.
No.
And I don't need another dog, but if we see one.
Yeah. We would do that.
And we saw one today, but it got immediately adopted. Oh, so anyway.
And there was also this pet adoption drive this week. Which they cleaned out that place, which was wonderful.
Actually, until next week.
Many $15.
Yeah.
They've got homes for so many dogs and cats now. It's absolutely incredible. I love it. I mean, if you know me from Twitter or any one of the other sites, I push pet adoption. I'm a big believer in taking care of your dogs and cats and treat them like family, for God's sake.
And
don't be mean.
And don't shop, adopt. Right?
Right. Adopt.
Well,
puppy mills and cat mills.
Remember what I told you earlier tonight? What? The people that got caught with 57 mistreated dogs?
Man,
they were breeding. And they have 57 dogs. But they can't adopt the dogs out until the owners either surrender them or they take them to court.
Right.
They can't just for some reason you're allowed to take somebody's baby away,
right,
but you're not allowed to take somebody's dog away. So
those people that mistreat pets like that, I'm sorry, but I know the Constitution doesn't allow cruel and unusual punishment, but if they tie a dog up outside, if they get caught, those idiots need to be tied up outside and tied up.
Right, or even if even the breeders where they put the dogs in the little tiny cages and they never get out.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous.
It's cruel and unusual punishment. They should put them in.
But like I said, how come you're allowed to take away somebody's baby, but you're not allowed to take away somebody's dog like that?
Well, there are new laws going into effect. What was that national cruelty of animal thing was terrible.
Well, yeah, but I guess
I hope they arrest a lot of people with it because if you had hurt a dog or a cat,
but then again, you still have
or any other animal.
Then again, you still have to take them to court. You can't
ends up with a lawyer.
You can't just take the dogs away, adopt them out before you've taken the people to court.
Shakespeare was right.
So
first we kill all the lawyers.
Right. Speaking of,
sorry, friends, I'm just kidding.
Speaking of, I may have an interview with a law firm this week. So really, lawyers, I love you.
You'd be great at that. Just don't get sucked into being a paralegal. That's a tough job.
Well, I've had tough jobs before. Yeah, I've been good at them.
Good at them. Me, I want a nice, easy job.
Yeah. Ice cream man.
I'm ice cream man. Stop me if I'm passing by.
I got some ice cream.
You're messing with my emotions if you're messing with my money. He's an ice cream man Friday too.
What happened to the ice cream man? I guess they're a little sketchy, huh?
Well, yeah, they usually have everything but ice cream in them anymore, I think. No, they're in cities and towns, like downtown there's ice cream trucks and stuff like still around in the summertime.
Right.
It's a good business, actually.
Right. I used to say I was going to do that at soccer games.
It costs you for a quarter for $1.50.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, there's a little profit.
If I would have had an ice cream truck at all my kids' soccer games, I could have paid for them to go to college.
Yeah, you could have. Easily. That's smart. You look good on camera, Mrs. Nevis. Oh, thank you for that. I give her a compliment. I go.
Look, I disappeared after I did that.
I got that in video, Chuck. I got that in video, Chuck. So it'll be next week's promo.
Oh, good.
Yay!
Promo?
Yay! Yay!
I don't blame you, Louise.
I look indignant, don't I?
Well, you get passionate. Passionate's good.
There you go. I love it.
What's that?
I just saw me.
There it is. There it is.
Yep. Good.
Hey, we look good on camera. Darcy, can you put you up on there too?
I don't have a shot ready.
Oh, okay.
What time is it?
We're already over.
Oh, good.
We're way over time. Yeah.
What?
Anyway, so we thank you guys very much for joining us always. We goof around a lot, but we really do have a lot of fun. And we talk about a lot of things that we think will be of interest to you. Especially if you're a NASCAR fan, or if you like cuts, or if you like.
And really, this is like.
And we also what?
Like we've been told, we do shows amongst ourselves all the time without actually being on a show.
When we're not on camera, we're
we pretty much do this.
So I keep telling Lisa that we need to put cameras all around the house and be a virtual reality show. And Lisa's response is
no. What are you gonna do about what are you gonna do about all the fights?
It's a fight game.
It's a fight game.
Everybody's playing. You can play it too. Hey, look at that. I'm next to